Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya De Satarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvasya Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yat kripa tamaham bande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam, Shri Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Vishwaram. Hare Krishna. Yes. Hare Krishna. So we were discussing about Dhruva Maharaj, and if I remember, we were discussing about Dhruva Maharaj going back to Godhead. Anyone remembers? Would like to say something? Please switch on your videos, everyone. Yes. Anyone who remembers something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that was
Oh yes, please tell.
Prabhuji, when Dhruva Maharaj was going back to Godhead, so when he was sitting in the plane, so he was remembering his mother Suniti. So the qualities that a devotee should have, he was telling about the qualities, that how to be grateful to your Guru.
Yeah. So we were discussing how Dhruva Maharaj was so grateful to his guru, especially Suniti, and Dhruva Maharaj was very much what do you say? He was feeling greatly grateful, and he was feeling that, oh, my mother is not going, what will happen to my poor mother, like that. Yes. Anything else?
Yeah. So regarding this point, we were discussing how devotees are always compassionate to other living entities, and they were always like worrying about, anxious about how to give Harinam to others. They are about others.
Yeah, so we were discussing how devotees are always compassionate. They were always eager to ensure that everyone is. So we were discussing one point in this regard, that Dhruva Maharaj's feelings for his mother was not on a material platform. One may think, oh, Dhruva Maharaj is going back to Godhead and he is thinking about his mother. He is supposed to think about Krishna. Yes. So how can someone thinking about a material relationship is going back to Godhead? So one has to understand that Dhruva Maharaj is not thinking about his mother. Dhruva Maharaj is compassionate, and compassion is actually the essence of Vaishnava quality. Of all the qualities that a devotee has, compassion is the most glorious of all the qualities. Yeah. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
You told that about Ramanujacharya, that how story that how his Guru that want to go back to God, and then I'll give you mantra, but you don't tell it to anyone. Instead, you climbed up a hill and told everyone about it, and his intention was very.
Yeah, we discussed about Ramanujacharya's, how Ramanujacharya actually distributed the mantra, though his guru specifically told that this mantra has to be kept secret. Yeah, that is, we also discussed that. Yes, Bihari Govind Prabhu wanted to say something.
One more point, Prabhuji, I think we discussed that a real devotee is one who always not only thinks about himself, herself, he also thinks about the others. Not only he wants to go back to Godhead, he also wants to take at least one devotee to the Vaikuntha.
Yeah. So whom you are taking? Are you going? Are you going, and whom you are taking?
I don't know.
Okay, you still are confused whether you are going or not.
I'm also confused whether I'm going or not. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Bihari Govind.
Right. We have to teach others. We have to ensure that we are teaching others. We are encouraging people to come to Krishna consciousness. That's another thing we can.
Yes, very good. Yes, Bihari.
One other point was we need to be very careful about our desires, what we are desiring. Because here Dhruva Maharaj is desiring about his mother going back to Godhead. So should be very careful about it.
Yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj desired about mother going back to Godhead, then there is no problem. Imagine we desire about taking Rasgulla, Gulab Jamun, or watching some Bollywood movie which we are, so that may also create some problem. Yeah, so we have to be very watchful and thoughtful of our desires. That also we discussed. Yeah. Yes, Madhur Prabhu, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
yeah.
This is the one important lesson what we learned, that if you want to go to Godhead, then your consciousness, that is thinking, feeling, willing, has to be of the spiritual world platform. Matthew Muni ने जो बताया था कि there are two qualifications. One is you have to be merciful, and second you need to work for the welfare of the others. These are the prime base desires or qualities you can say.
Yeah. So one has to be, one has to actually develop the qualities of residents of spiritual world before one can enter spiritual world. That is true. Anything else? Yeah.
One another example was Vasudev Datta, who was the avatar of Prahlad Maharaj, who was saying how he was praying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that all the, give all the pain, all the sinful activities that the living entities are doing, and please take them with you, take them to the supreme abode of the Lord. And by desiring so, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given depression to all the living entities.
Yeah.
That point was also discussed.
That's true. That's true. Yes. Last Udharan Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one point which we discussed about gratitude to our Guru Parampara. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and then all the Guru Parampara that we should be very much grateful providing this rare opportunity.
So we discussed about gratitude, that how we should be very grateful to our gurus, and we should understand that it is because of them that we are getting opportunity to practice. Okay, so that's what we ended. So I think last class someone asked a question, I think Ansuman Prabhu or someone, that why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed elaborately or read himself elaborately the pastimes of Prahlad and Dhruva. And we said that we will discuss that elaborately in the next class. Why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, among all the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu focused on the pastime of Dhruva and Prahlad Maharaj so much? He actually stressed the pastime so much. Rather, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Tota Gopinath with Gadadhar Pandit, every day they would read the same pastime again and again and again, Dhruva Maharaj's pastime and the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj again and again. The whole pastime will get over, and again he would read. So why would Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do like that? One has to understand that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to show us an example. He came to set the example for all of us who are all very fallen souls. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to, like a teacher. Sometimes a teacher is blessed with students who are very, very nice, who are like very sincere, very serious. And sometimes the teacher has students who are really notorious. Anyone has experience of being a notorious student or being a teacher for a notorious student? Yes, Poonam Mataji has experience. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows very well that this Kali Yuga, people are very, very lazy about Krishna consciousness. Very, very lazy about Krishna consciousness. Mandaha sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadruta. People are, you will see, go out, you will find that people are so much having passion for doing everything. But as soon as it comes about practicing spirituality, people are so lazy, so lazy. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that people are going to be very lazy in Kali Yuga for practice of spirituality. And the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj and pastime of Prahlad Maharaj is very essential for sadhakas. You see Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, their situation. If you see Dhruva Maharaj, he had got such a great lineage. Just consider Dhruva Maharaj's life. His great-grandfather was Brahmaji. That means he can meet Brahma. His son, his grandfather was Swayambhuva Manu, and Swayambhuva Manu was direct son of Brahma, and Swayambhuva Manu was born from Brahma directly. And his grandmother, Satarupa, was the first lady in universe. Can you imagine? Before Satarupa, there was no other lady. She was the first lady, like we say, the first lady of America, the first lady of India. Satarupa was first lady of the creation. Before that, Brahma was just creating from himself, and all men were coming, and all men were going out for doing their tapasya and penances and all those things. And from Brahma, Satarupa came as the first lady. And they were great devotees. Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa were great devotees. From all the family members there, Swayambhuva Manu's family members, great souls came. Supreme Personality of Lordhead came. From their daughter Devahuti. Devahuti's son became Kapiladev. And we are now studying about Uttanapad, how Dhruva Maharaj came. So this family is such a glorious family, spiritual family, but in such a family, Dhruva Maharaj, though he has such a spiritual lineage, Dhruva Maharaj is not recognizing his spiritual lineage. He is having so much of material desires. He is not recognizing the fortune that he has got. We also have seen some people, also in ISKCON, people are born in ISKCON and they are born from devotee parents. So just imagine how fortunate they are. Being born from devotee parents, from childhood you are taking prasadam. But it's not that those who are born from devotee parents, they become devotees. Because if they are not able to handle their material desires, they don't become devotees. But we see here Dhruva Maharaj, he was having such a spiritual lineage and he was having so much of material desires, but then he practiced spirituality under the guidance of Narad Muni, not to get Krishna, but to get his material desires fulfilled. So in this world, people are so passionate about fulfillment of their material desires. By reading Dhruva Maharaj's story, one can think that I can have ambitions, but I cannot have ambitions like Dhruva Maharaj. And all those ambitions got fulfilled by Krishna. And on top of it, Dhruva Maharaj also went back to Godhead. His heart got purified. So in this Kali Yuga, there are so many people who are having so much of material desires, so much of material ambitions to do this, to do that. And if they surrender to Krishna sincerely under the guidance of Guru, then all their material desires will get fulfilled. So this is the first thing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to establish through Dhruva Maharaj, that even if you have a lot of conditionings within your heart and your material desires are so much, if you surrender to Guru and if you follow the process given in Kali Yuga, you can easily go back to Godhead. And as far as Prahlad Maharaj is concerned, Prahlad Maharaj was from beginning, he had no material desires. But though he had no material desires, his outside circumstances were very, very strong. Very, 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 very against Krishna consciousness. So Dhruva Maharaj has an internal problem and Prahlad Maharaj has an external problem. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to show and demonstrate that nothing is a problem to practice Krishna consciousness. Whether you are internally having problems like Dhruva Maharaj or whether externally you are having problem like Prahlad Maharaj, you can easily practice and purify and perfect your life in this very life itself. Just imagine how our situation is much better than Prahlad. Prahlad was getting, he was attempted to be murdered, assassinated by his own father just because he was practicing Krishna consciousness. We chant Hare Krishna and there is no threat. I don't know how many of us will be able to continue to chant Hare Krishna if there are murder threats. Imagine you get a call that if you chant Hare Krishna, you are going to be killed. Yes, how many of you have guts? You will hold the big bag. Imagine there are cameras scrutinizing all your rooms everywhere, which just to see that whether you are chanting Hare Krishna or not. So Prahlad Maharaj's situation, and compared to that situation, our situation is nothing. We may say that Kali Yuga, there is so much of difficulty in practicing Krishna consciousness, but if you see Prahlad Maharaj's situation, it is really, really difficult. His own father was so much of creating so much of problems. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to establish that no external situation can create problems in your spiritual life. No internal situation also can create problems in your spiritual life. The only problem is our own mind. If we surrender to our mind, then we'll have a particular type of destination. But we see Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, they both of them surrendered to Srila Narad Muni. Though Dhruva Maharaj had so many material desires, but he surrendered to Narad Muni. And that is how he became glorious. So this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to establish, and especially wants to focus by highlighting these two pastimes. Because it is expected, it is but natural that being born in Kali Yuga will be put in so much of troublesome situations for practicing bhakti. Kali Yuga is not a place to practice spirituality. But we made a choice to appear in Kali Yuga. It's not that we are forced to be born in Kali Yuga. We made a choice to appear in Kali Yuga. And because we made that choice, we have to actually accept the realities of Kali Yuga. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to establish that though Kali Yuga is having all these realities, disturbances, people are having so much of internal turmoils, there are so much of external distractions for our practicing bhakti nicely, but it is possible. It is possible to perfect our life in this very life itself. So that is one verse which we will recite now in this regard. This is from the 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, verse number 10. Yeah, all devotees, please switch on your videos. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Akama sarva kamo va.
Akama sarva kamo va.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
Yajeta purushaha param.
Yajeta purushaha param.
Akama sarva kamo va. Okay. Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha kama udarati.
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
Yajeta purushaha param.
Yajeta purushaha param.
Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Akamaha means one who has no material desires. Sarvakama, one who has all material desires. Va or Mokshakama, one who is frustrated in this material world and wants to get rid of the material world and go to Brahman, Brahmajyoti, and attain peace. Mokshakama. Udaradhi. Udaradhi, if one is having good intelligence, dhi means intelligence. Udaradhi means one who has very good intelligence. Tibrena. Tibrena means with lot of intensity, seriousness. Bhakti yogena. One practices bhakti yogena. Yajeta purushaha param. So one must practice devotional service with lot of vigor. Okay. So we will Udaradhi means one who has a broader outlook. People with desires for material enjoyment worship small demigods, and such intelligence is condemned in Bhagavad Gita as Hrita Jnana, the intelligence of one who has lost his senses. One cannot obtain any result from demigods without getting sanction from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, a person with a broader outlook can see that ultimate authority is the Lord, even for material benefits. Under the circumstances, one with a broader outlook, even if with desire for material enjoyment or for liberation, should take to the worship of the Lord directly. And everyone, whether an akama or a sakama or mokshakama, akama is no desire, sakama is lot of desires, mokshakama is desire for attaining peace, should worship the Lord with great expedience. This implies that Bhakti Yoga may be perfectly administered without any mixture of karma and jnana, as the unmixed sun ray is very forceful and is therefore called Tibra. Similarly, unmixed Bhakti Yoga of hearing, chanting, etc. may be performed by one and all regardless of inner motive. So here Sukadeva Goswami is telling that whatever one may have desires, one may have no desires like Prahlad Maharaj, one may have full of material desires like Dhruva Maharaj, or one may have desire for attaining peace from the tribulations of this world. One should practice with tibrata, one should practice with intensity. And if one practices with intensity, then one will attain the Supreme Lord and one will perfect life. And one is man of real intelligence. Now the question here arises for all of you, we will discuss now. here it is written that one who is having no material desires, one who is having all material desires, and one who is having desires for peace, all three of them should practice. You see this word? This word is tivrena. You understand tivrata? How many of you know the word tibra? Okay.
Fast, a bit fast.
Fast. Okay.
Fasted. Without any hindrance, Prabhuji, without any hindrance.
Without any hindrance. Okay. Intensity. Yes, Kushal, we are requesting. Intensity. Tibrata matlab intensity, right? With lot of intensity, seriousness, sincerity. Now my question to all of you is, how it is very easy to understand this verse if it is only given akama or moksha kama. Means one who has no desires, he can easily practice spirituality with intensity. Or one who is wanting peace can also practice. Now sarva kama, how can the sarva kama people, or having material desires, or someone who is desiring peace, how can they practice with intensity? Material desires are so much of a distraction for practice of spirituality. Or in little different way, if it is so nicely being spoken in this verse, why we are not able to practice Krishna consciousness with intensity?
Dhruva Maharaj's example of this material.
Dhruva Maharaj's example, now we are now trying to materialize Dhruva Maharaj's example in our life. So we will discuss for next 15 minutes that. So don't tell about Dhruva Maharaj, tell about ourselves now. We will discuss about what is the problem? If Dhruva Maharaj could do it, why can't we do it? Because here in this verse also, it is mentioned that even if you have material desires, no problem, practice with intensity. But problem is how with having material desires we can practice with intensity is very difficult. It's easier said than done. Or in other words, the question can be framed in different way, that if it is so nicely being spoken that practice with intensity spirituality, even if you have material desires, don't worry. Why we are not able to do it? Why we have so much of difficulty because of our material desires, material conditionings? Yes? And why Dhruva Maharaj didn't have difficulty?
Because of surrender to Guru.
Okay, because of surrender to Guru. Okay. Yeah.
So we commit Vaishnava Aparadh.
Okay, we commit Vaishnava Aparadh. Okay. Anything else?
Maybe it's like that Dhruva Maharaj was very honest. He was saying everything. मेरा ऐसे है, वैसे है, ये material desire है, वो material desire है. Maybe ये हो सकता है कि हम forcefully हमारा जो material desire है, हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो दब जाए, और हम गुरु के सामने properly discuss नहीं कर रहे, और साथ में हम chanting करने का कोशिश कर रहे.
Okay, that's a very nice point. Yes, who else is there? Okay. Yes, Chandan Prabhu, then Santanu Prabhu.
So one situation may be that we are not even serious about our material desires, or in other way it can be that we are not depending on Lord to fulfill anything, that we ourselves will do it. So then we are not going to Lord even for material desires. We think that is separate and this is separate, and we can do this separately, and then spiritual life can go separately. So we are maybe.
Okay, so we are not serious about our material desires also. Like Hiranyakashipu was so serious about his material desires. Huh? Actually, Hiranyakashipu is our great acharya in practicing, doing something with determination. Just imagine, 100 years, celestial years standing like this. Huh? It's really... Okay, so we are not serious about our material desires also. Then what we are serious about? We are not serious about material life. We are not serious about spiritual life. Yes. What we are serious about? What you are serious about? Okay.
Probably what I feel that we do not have that much of patience, because when Guru is telling that if we follow this, then in future you will get Lord, or the spiritually you will get success. But that patience we do not have. So we are thinking that we are doing it, so within a few days or few months we will get the success. So material, that thing that we can see that okay, that we are getting something, but spiritually that we are not getting that, so we are getting success.
But Dhruva Maharaj got it in 6 months. You have been chanting for last 3 years, 4 years. Yeah, so that's what. Okay. बेचारा कली ऊपर से देख रहा है, सब मेरे ऊपर. Everyone blames me. Yes, Santanu Prabhu has a nice different perspective about this.
Actually, Dhruva Maharaj, what is being told that Sarva Kama person should also do Bhakti. Actually, हम लोग का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि तो हमको अपने पे बहुत ज्यादा विश्वास है. इवन मटेरियल डिजायर हम बहुत, वी आर, जैसे बोलते हैं ना, श्रद्धा सबसे विश्वास पूरी से कृष्ण भक्ति कोइले सर्व कर्म. तो ध्रुव महाराज हैड दैट फेथ, इफ आई डू भक्ति एवरीथिंग लॉर्ड विल गिव. बट हम उस इंटेंसिटी से भक्ति नहीं करते. हमको अभी भी खुद पे विश्वास है, अपना एंडेवर पे बहुत विश्वास है. So that is lacking the तीव्रता. We can have all material desire, but then we should have full faith also that everything Lord will give. We still have lot of faith on our own strength and on our own endeavors.
Okay. But then you are trying to ask another question. Is that from question you took us to another question? Is then how we can have that faith? Okay, so we will discuss later on. Okay, Tarun Prabhu. Okay, so Krishna Prabhu wants to say, then Tarun Prabhu.
One verse I read in Bhagavad Gita 7.28, Esam Tuvantatam Papam, Punya Karma, Devanta Mohane Muktam, Vedante Mam Teda. So here Lord explains that person who have acted wisely in their previous life and in this life, who are actually whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. So they are freed from duality of division. So they will be able to actually engage themselves in devotional service with determination. Maybe our sinful sins is still covering our heart, and we are not able to see the reality. So that may be one of the reasons.
Okay, so that is what it is. Our sinful desires are there, and that's why these material desires are there. But then why we are not able to practice with intensity? If Bhagavad Gita, this verse says that Krishna says that one can only practice with dridhata, that only when one is cleared of his material desires, then so this verse from Bhagavatam is contradicting the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says that yesam tu antagatam papam. If you, until unless your desires or sinful actions are stopped, and jananam punya karmana, and we have not started doing punya karmana, then we cannot practice dridhata with dridhata. And here it is telling, even if you have desires, whatever you practice with dridhata. So both are contradictory. Because if we have desires, we cannot practice with dridhata. They are the hindrance. Yeah. Okay.
Prabhu, I think it is because Dhruva Maharaj had faith in the words of Guru.
Okay.
His Guru, and we don't have that much faith in words of Guru and scriptures, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
The second, it takes time. We don't have that much patience. Dhruva Maharaj's case, it happened in 6 months, but in our case, it may happen in 6 years or six lifetimes.
Okay.
So it depends on Krishna, since we have material desires. So when does he fulfill? Because he wants to purify us also, and out of those material desires. So it depends on him also.
Okay, we don't have patience. Okay, anyone else? Last, who else is there? Okay, yes, Poonam Mataji and then Rajesh. Oh, so many people are raising hands. Everyone wants to tell.
Like we also don't take our spiritual ambitions
Spiritual?
Even if we take it,
Spiritual?
Spiritual ambition, we should have something. Of course, everyone is having now, but we don't plan it properly. We think that we should do this, but we don't plan it and we don't discuss with our guru or senior. So the execution does not happen.
Okay. So the execution is not happening because we are not having some plans for our practice. Okay, yes, Rajesh, true.
I think it's the ignorance and the habits of forgetting. When we are in the class, we get so much intense that we need to practice everything each moment.
Yes.
And once we leave the class, we get engaged in other thing and then think that
how nice it would be if we have 24 hours class. Okay, nice point. Yeah. Okay, so if we are in class, then things are all okay, and as soon as we go out of class, everything goes. Okay, nice point. Yes, Udharan Krishna Prabhu.
So sorry. Solution is that we need to be हिंदी में बोलते हैं सानिध्य में आपके सानिध्य में हमेशा रहना है.
Okay, सानिध्य में रहना. Okay, yes. उदाहरण कृष्ण को.
What I think in current world, the conception of God and spirituality is based on how my material desires are getting fulfilled. People go to temple so that my desires get fulfilled. But those things are getting fulfilled without going to temple itself. Because the world is teaching us that you work hard, slog, and then you will be millionaire. And people are getting those results. So that's why they don't have any interest to go to spirituality because they are achieving everything. You won't forget spirituality in our ancient scripture. They say we fly in a plane, we have created planes. Right? We can live in underwater, we can live underwater. So what is the need of the God? But if we see in the life of Dhruva Maharaj, he, in spite of having all the material opulence, he had that intensity to understand something higher, which is currently missing.
Okay. Nice point. Quite close to the answer. Yes, Syama Priya Mataji. Last, we'll not discuss more.
Prabhu, I also feel the same way that Udam Krishna Prabhu was saying. I was also thinking something like an immediate benefit. We put a lot of effort into getting that. But bhakti is not something that we see an immediate benefit, and we do not see it. And because of that, we do not put so much of endeavor into it. But for materialistic things, we put a lot of effort, or sometimes we don't put effort for that also. Maybe we are prioritizing our bodily comfort or something like that. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so the first point is here it is mentioned about some big thing, and we were not putting our mind and heart in devotional service. Yeah. Okay. So the first point we need to understand is that whether it is akama, sarva kama, moksha kama, what is the common? Can you tell what is the common word in all these three words? Kama. Very good. Kama means
Obsessive desire.
Obsessive desire. Very good. Right answer. Obsessive desire. Right. Obsessive desire. So one need to understand that Kali Yuga, the biggest problem in Kali Yuga is it drags us to mode of ignorance. At least in passion there is action. But in the mode of ignorance, there is no action at all. Like this verse that Krishna Prabhu quoted from Bhagavad Gita, Jananam Punya Karmana. Now the Punya Karma, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that if one does pious activities, actually pious activities cannot bring us to bhakti. But when one does some activity or pious activity or any activity, there is a chance. Imagine someone is sleeping on the room itself and just sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. There is no chance that the person will ever encounter a devotee or a book distribution party or a Sankirtan party or Rath Yatra party or anything else. There is no interaction only. There is no relationship even with the material world. So in the gradation of goodness, passion and ignorance, at least passion is much better than ignorance. Because in ignorance, there is no action only. And since there is no action, it is very difficult to divert. For a guru also, for any preacher also, or any devotee also, it's very difficult to divert that. And we see in Kali Yuga, so much, it's like people are engulfed in mode of ignorance. And that is why the first principle is to rise people above of mode of ignorance. These 4 regulative principles which we say of not eating non-veg and alcohol and all those things, because these takes us to mode of ignorance, so much deep into ignorance. Especially the modern inventions of satisfaction and fulfillment of desires in very, very horrible way, like drugs and heroin, cocaine, brown sugar and all those drugs that has been created, LSDs, they take a person to so much of mode of ignorance. There was one person called Crazy Peter. He used to take so much of drugs, that he used to throw out only sleep, nothing. And there was no hope for the person, and he used to come and sleep in the temple. And devotees used to get so frustrated, he is only sleeping, he is doing nothing. And he may attack also when the drugs craving comes. Devotees said to Srila Prabhupada that this person is doing like this and what to do. And Srila Prabhupada said, no problem. He can sleep near the gramophone record which plays my Hare Krishna dhun. And when he gets up, you tell him to ensure that the gramophone is always running. And he can take drugs and sleep. But the power of the Hare Krishna is so powerful that it made him to, go above the ignorance just by the sound vibration. But one need to understand that the mode of ignorance amidst mode of passion, kama means passion. Akama means no passion. Moksha kama means passion for peace, passion for becoming one with Supreme. And sarva kama, passion to enjoy in this world. But at least the mode of passion is better than the mode of ignorance. And that is how we have to ensure that we should always be engaged. Kali Yuga, the greatest danger is people are too much worried about how I can just enjoy in a very, very degraded manner, which simply increases our mode of ignorance, like animals. And since we are trying to enjoy like animals, animals will not have tibrata. Animals will only have tibrata for the 4 basic activities. They cannot think anything higher. Right? Here means if you want to satisfy your desires, you worship Supreme. That means at least there is a thought that there is something higher. Right now, I am in a position, certain position, and I can go higher. That thought is not there. You will see a particular thing that is coming up much more prominently in today's generation is no one wants to save. They're called the millennial generation or the Gen Z. They don't want to save anything. They want to like this Uber, Ola. This has come from a philosophy, and the philosophy is, why should I have a car? Just don't own anything. Don't own a house. Don't own just don't have any savings. Just whatever you have, you earn and spend. Yes, Bihari going through? Is this that what is the culture you saw in the West?
Yes, very much actually.
To the extent that they have started giving every 15 days salary because that gets over. Can you imagine? So much of ignorance that in 15 days the salary is over, then you work hard to get more salary. So this is extreme ignorance. And when we are stuck in so much of ignorance, it becomes very, very difficult to act. And if you don't act, then what is the question of intensity? Acting in intensity. People don't want to act only. People just want to get stoned and just forget everything. Why? Because they are so frustrated. And that is how the next thing comes is about relationships. Forget about relating with the Supreme Lord, which is called Bhakti Yogam. You see this verse says? Bhakti Yogena. Bhakti Yogena means having or striking out a relationship with the Supreme Lord. So people in Kali Yuga, they do not have any relationships. They don't relate with anyone. They're becoming more and more lonely and more self-centered. And because of that, they're getting into mode of ignorance. So when people have some experience of relating with someone and experiencing some happiness, that happiness is higher than the happiness of just trying to enjoy in ignorance like the animals. You will see a particular thing that in Vedic society, the families were too much connected than modern society, but Vedic society, people easily took Banaprastha than the modern society. Correct? One may think modern society is so nice, na? Already people are outside only. They don't have family. They don't have anything else. They are not savings also. They are almost living like Babajis only. Yes. What is meaning of a Babaji? He doesn't have a family, right? And what is meaning of Babaji? He doesn't worry about the future. He has no savings. So modern corporate culture and the modern culture in the concrete jungles, all the new age generation people are becoming concrete Babajis of the jungle, corporate Babajis. You earn something and you spend it and don't worry. That's why you will see men and women both are working so hard. Previously, one person used to work hard and the other person used to do another thing of another part of the family, and both had such strong relationship. There was no fear, no feeling of insecurity that my husband will leave me. There was so much of good relationships. Now the man wants to work hard, woman wants to work hard, and everyone understands that if I don't work hard and I do something, nothing will happen. So there is no relationship. And when there is no relationship, there is no question of having relationship with God. We are not able to relate among ourselves and not able to derive happiness in that relationships. And that is how we need to understand Tivrena Bhakti Yogena can happen only when we have got some experience of happiness in relating with someone. And that begins by relating with Guru. So if we feel the happiness by relationships, and we feel the happiness in relating with people, then we understand if relating with such people gives so much of happiness, how much happiness it will give by relating with Krishna. Yesterday I was hearing class by His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj about Brahmar Geet I am currently hearing. So I was hearing about how the gopis are actually criticizing Krishna, and they are telling that all these relationships in this world are based, everyone in this world in these relationships are worried about their bodily relationships. And since we are not bodily connected to Krishna, why he will remember us? He will remember Devaki, he will remember Basudev, and he may remember Nanda Maharaj. They are also in the same line in the lineage, because Nanda was also same lineage of Basudev's father. They will remember us, and we are no connection. And I was thinking while hearing the lecture that nowadays people don't even connect with their bodily connections. So I don't know when the gopis in Kali Yuga, what example they will give. Gopis were giving the example that because we are not having bodily connection, so Krishna will easily forget us. But for bodily connection, he remembers. That's why he is in Madhuban, he is in Mathura. But I don't know what the gopis will criticize in the Kali Yuga Basis. We do not have any connection. And if we are not having any connection, we have not experienced any happiness with any connections, then there is no question of practicing with intensity to develop a connection with a higher person, with Krishna, with God. Just imagine how much Dhruva Maharaj was feeling connected with his mother. What sort of relationships were there? So we must understand that modern culture or Kali Yuga works by separating us and breaking the bonds. Whether it is family bonds, bonds between father and son, and it looks that, wow, it is so nice, the bonds are breaking. No, the bonds are breaking, it is dangerous, because if the bonds are there, then one will understand, if I am deriving so much of happiness by having a bond with my father, how much happiness will I derive by having a bond with my Supreme Father? And that's exactly what Jiva Goswami speaks in the purport that is being mentioned. A living being, naturally being the part and parcel of the Supreme, whole, Purusham Purnam, has as his natural function to serve the Supreme Being, just as the parts and parcels of the body or limbs of the body are naturally meant to serve the complete body. Desireless means, therefore, not to be inert like stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position, and thus desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. This is Srila Jiva Goswami speaking from Sandarbha. What I explained today is from what Jiva Goswami says in one Sandarbha. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this desirelessness as bhajaniya parama purusha sukha matra swasukhatvam in his Sandarbha. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of the Supreme Lord. This intuition of the living being is sometimes manifested even during the conditioned stage of a living being in material world. And such intuition is expressed in the manner of altruism, philanthropy, socialism, communism by the undeveloped minds of less intelligent person. So this is the problem with all of us. Our problem is we are not trying to relate with each other, and we are becoming so focused on our self-centered life. So Vedic life may show us that there were so good families and so nice families, people were so together, and now people are all disjoined, their hearts are not connected much, so it is very easy. I have seen a particular thing. The person who has recently, myself and Acharya Ratna Prabhu were having a discussion, and we were discussing, and then I was telling about the book, and I was also telling about my childhood, and we were discussing how last almost like now 18-19 years in ISKCON, and I have seen 18-19 years ISKCON in different phases and different ways and different devotees, and especially the Brahmachari ashram. Closely I have observed the Brahmacharis and Brahmachari ashram. I saw that those Brahmacharis who have experienced a lot of love, care, attention, they understand relationships well, they are the people who survive very nicely, and they are the people who practice very nicely, and they relate with the Supreme Lord. Because at least for someone in their life, their heart has throbbed sometime. कभी ना कभी तो किसी के लिए उनका दिल धड़का है, उसके लिए वो कुछ किया है. You're able to understand? If your heart has never throbbed for someone, or if it has only throbbed just so that you can get something from that person, but if your heart has never throbbed for someone and you have not given anything to anyone, relationships, I'm not talking about, okay, in today's society also people are having all the heart throbs and Tinder app, dating apps and all those things, but it is more of how I can get what I can get, right? So, but what I'm telling is, I have seen over the years who are those devotees who are very able to relate with Krishna, they're able to practice very nicely, are those people who have some experience of relationships. Bhakti is about relationships. If we do not have relationships, or we do not have experience of a higher happiness in a relationships, even in a material relationships, of giving something to someone and experiencing happiness, it is very difficult to practice with tibrata. And that's how you will see that how Dhruva Maharaj got inspired to go to forest. What Suniti said, can anyone remember what Suniti said to Dhruva Maharaj to inspire him to go to forest? You are telling now, we are trying to hear.
Suniti told that all your material desire will be fulfilled when you go and...
No, this is wrong answer, okay?
He said that the Supreme Lord can give the love of billions of mothers.
Yeah, the Supreme Lord can give the love of billions of mothers. Dhruva, you are disturbed and you are coming to me, thinking that I am your mother and I will give you shelter. Arey, you understand, if you have some connections and you are feeling some love and shelter from me, just imagine the Supreme Lord. Multiply this feeling of shelter into billions of times. That is what is feeling of shelter from Krishna. Go and surrender to Krishna. And I have heard that people go to forest to find Krishna, so you also go to forest. But imagine someone doesn't know the definition of a mother. In today's society, people, no one knows who is his mother, no one knows who is his father. And what we can expect of feeling of love, shelter, security, happiness with Krishna, and what we can expect of doing anything with tibrata. All the wives who have got very good husbands, they should understand this small person of this material world in the earthly planet can give me so much of happiness. How much happiness the gopis derive from Krishna? How much the supreme husband of goddess of fortune can give happiness? But imagine if you are not experiencing any happiness from husband, any happiness from wife, any happiness from child, any happiness from son, what tibrata will practice? So we need to understand that the modern society and how Kali is working. Kali is creating gadgets. Gadgets were always there. There were much more superior gadgets. Kardama Muni had a gadget which can fly in the air without any fuel problem. And we have created some gadgets like aeroplanes. The gadgets were always there. Only the nature of gadgets has changed. Don't think that because Kali Yuga is creating all these facilities for material enjoyment, that's why we are not able to practice with Tibrata. Kali works by breaking the bonds, the material bonds. Now, this may sound very weird, completely out of the box, but this is how it works. People don't have relationships, and people who don't have relationships and who have never experienced the sweetness of relationships, they cannot extrapolate. See, understand, we have no connection with Krishna. We can only extrapolate our connection. You are able to understand? Do you know what is meaning of extrapolation? Yes, anyone who knows, who can tell something about extrapolation? Yes, anyone?
हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं उनके साथ रिश्ता बनाने का।
नहीं, you don't know what.
है नहीं originally.
नहीं.
Thinking about the relationship.
Extrapolation means like analytics में होता है, data analytics.
हाँ.
We get some data and it is showing some trend. Then we predict that more value.
This is called extrapolation. You know, you are able to understand now. So let us say 2020, the population in India was 140 billion. 2022, the population was 142 billion. 2024, it was 144 billion. 2026, what we expect? 146 billion. This is called extrapolation. Because it is every year 2 billion, it is increasing. So we can expect that 2026, there will be 146 billion people in India. This is called extrapolation. Similarly, one who has experienced sweetness in some relationships in this world can extrapolate, Arey, if this person can give so happiness, Bhagavad Gita is telling that Krishna is the supreme source of everything. How much happiness Krishna can give? And if I am working so hard for my husband, for my wife, for my this, how much, if I work little bit for Krishna, how much I will find happiness and satisfaction. And that's how one becomes connected slowly and slowly with Krishna. So our practice of bhakti with Tibrata is not a mindless, heartless endeavor. Our practice of bhakti should be thoughtful, understanding that Krishna is actually my beloved. And then one can be practicing with Tibrata. So as Jiva Goswami here is speaking, we will read a little bit ahead. In the mundane field, such an outlook of doing good to the others in the form of society, community, family, country or humanity is a partial manifestation of the same original feeling in which a pure living entity feels happiness by the happiness of the Supreme Lord. Such superb feelings were exhibited by the damsels of Brajabhumi. Just see what contradictory statement Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. First, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about the happiness of the material world. And second, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning the highest happiness of the spiritual world, not even Vaikuntha. Such superb feelings were exhibited by the damsels of Brajabhumi for the happiness of the Lord. The gopis loved the spirit, loved the Lord without any return. And this is the perfect exhibition of a kama spirit. Kama spirit, or the desire for one's own satisfaction, is fully exhibited in material world, whereas the spirit of a kama is fully exhibited in the spiritual world. So kama means desire, but we need to understand the problem is why we are not able to practice, and why could Dhruva Maharaj practice though he had material desires. Dhruva Maharaj had such relationships. So if we have relationships, if we have experienced the sweetness of our relationship, the fulfillment of our material desires will be on a much higher platform than how an animal fulfills the material desires. Animal doesn't feel for his mother. Animal feels for his mother only when the mother gives milk. I have seen in our Gosala, the cows, as soon as the milk stops, there is no feeling of motherly love. Immediately, they are just like the mother becomes any other cow in the Goshala. So we are also becoming very, very animalistic. Material desires are fine, but if we become animalistic, then we cannot practice Tibrata spirituality, because first we have to become human beings. And human beings means family. Human beings means bonds. Human beings means relationships. Human beings means song, music. You see how what songs are there, like Ansuman Prabhu had come. I was discussing that in Durga Puja, all the music that is played and how I am not able to sleep. So in Durga Puja and all of the festivals, they now in near Gosala, near my room, just opposite to my room, all the flats have come and they play the song. And I was, for last so many years, I have been hearing, last 3-4 years, I have been hearing the same song. Saat samandar paar ke mein tere piche piche aage. I don't know who sang this song or from where the song, but I have remembered the song because it is being played with so much of sound and so much of every day the same song. And then I asked Ansuman Prabhu, what is this song? He said, Prabhu, this is of 1980s. And currently there are no songs. If you say 2020 songs, and I was telling why they are playing 1990, 80s songs in 2024. Because in 2024 we are not producing good songs. They have no rhythm, they have no music, they have no dance. What is the culture now? Just strip off yourself naked and just, that is what is, this is animalistic. This is music of more animalistic world. There is no rhythm, there is no just like ka, 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 like that the singers are singing. There is no rhythm, there is no chanda, there is no knowledge of meters, there is no knowledge of which words to be put in with what words. Boys and girls, they're just stripping up themselves as naked and then dancing, and that is like animals. So even material world we are not enjoying like a human being, and because we are not human beings as per se, what is the question of practicing spirituality with Tibrata? The first qualification of practicing spirituality, forget about Tibrata, at least is becoming a human being. So we must understand that how a human being behaves. What is human culture? Human being covers themselves. We don't cover ourselves, our body. Boys and girls nowadays are so happy about exposing their body. They're becoming animalistic. And more people are becoming animalistic. There is no question of even satisfying material desires through spirituality. So we need to understand that at least we should tell people that if you want to enjoy, come to human level, we want to soar. Recently, I was standing with Gauranga Smaran Prabhu and because he is kitchen in charge, and I was showing how from kitchen rats are coming out. So I was showing the pathway of the rats to him. So then I showed him that Prabhu, just see this rat. And then he said, Ki Prabhu, this rat is so fearful. I said, because the crow is there on the top of the tree, in our coconut tree, and the crow is constantly thinking how to catch the rat. And the rat is thinking like this, like this, like this, comes out, goes in, comes out, goes in. So this is animal society. There is constant fear, even to do basic human activities of eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So we need to tell people that if you become animalistic, your basic activities will also become so stringent. We see that happening in human society now. We are eating, not able to digest. Our cows are eating 10 times than us and they are facing no acidity problem. And we are eating, not able to digest. We are mating, not able to conceive a child. We are sleeping, not getting sleep, taking sleeping pill. So at least animals are able to do the basic activities properly. That is the major problem. This is how Kali is working, making us animalistic. And that's how we need to understand that until unless we come to the human level and experience some amount of happiness in relationships, in relating, there is no question of extrapolating it and understanding how much happy I will be if I am with Krishna. So that is what was speciality. You see Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu was giving so much of problem to him, how he was respectful as a culture to father, correct? And not just one may say, okay, Prahlad Maharaj is such a great devotee, that's why he is respectful to even Hiranyakashipu. The culture was so nice, even people with material desires would have so much of culture. And when we are having an animalistic culture, there is no question of spirituality and there is no question of Tibrata in spirituality. And that's why we always tell that have good relationships. I have seen people, even in Brahmachari ashram, those people who have left ashram are all because of relationship issues. I have seen grihasthas practicing devotional service. Those people who have stopped practicing devotional service are those people who could not have good relationship within their family. Maintain good relationships. And relationships are very, very important. We need to learn how to relate with each other. We need to learn how to relate with family. We need to learn how to relate with people. We need to learn how to relate with even all types of people, those who are antagonistic to us. And if we have good relationships, then that experience of sweetness can be extrapolated. If we are at least working for someone else in a relationships. And that's how we must understand that Kali Yuga is working like that. So Kama means desire, and as it is mentioned, Kama means a desire to experience happiness. And since our desire to experience happiness has become very, very animalistic, and that's how it is becoming difficult for us to practice with Tibrata. And there are definitely other reasons what all of you said is because we are committing Vaishnava Aparadh, and someone said that we are not honest with our Guru, we must surrender to Guru, and these are all very nice points and these are actually also proper. But I wanted to highlight this point that in Vedic society, people were able to practice with spirituality with intensity, though there were very good bonds within each other of people, they are able to detach themselves because they experience sweetness of relationships. So it's very important that we learn how to. It's not that we we only relate with devotees. We learn to relate with everyone properly. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
Prabhuji, we are at least trying sincerely. We are at least trying to be sincere. But still, we are also facing the situation. Not that devotees are in ignorance, but the practicing a sadhaka is also facing so much problem with but how to understand.
Yeah, that is how on a specific level in our lives we need to see that at least I have someone in my life where I am experiencing some happiness and sweetness in relationships. So then that person will help us to come out of the ignorance, right? Now, who helped Dhruva Maharaj? The sages. The sages came because Dhruva Maharaj had good relationship with the sages. So we may be in ignorance, but if you have good relationships, then we'll get the help. But if you do not have any good relationship, we have not related with anyone properly, then we have no chance of someone taking us out of the ignorance. Right? Sometimes a wife can be the cause of deliverance of a husband, or a husband can be cause of deliverance of a wife if both are attached and one person becomes the guru can be cause of deliverance because a person somehow gets attached to the guru. Definitely, most of the spiritual life revolves around our relationship with guru. Definitely, that's true. But then people do not have who have past wrong experiences of relating with others, they can't even relate with guru properly, right? So we need to learn the art of relationship, because bhakti is about relationships, relating with Krishna. So if we have someone to pick us up from ignorance and we love him, and so then it is possible. Okay, is it understanding? It's not necessary he has to be a guru, right? It can be our wife also, husband also, if we love him or and like my sisters, when they call me, they will not practice spirituality, but they will always encourage me to practice spirituality. Always. Whenever previous times, in Kharagpur times, IIT times, there was different, but now like, you do very nicely, we'll take care of the father, we'll take care. So nice. Why? Because we had such strong relationships, such strong bonding. That they know you are feeling happiness by doing bhakti, you do bhakti. They are not concerned that bhakti will give me spiritual world. That is not their concern. Their concern of supporting means, oh, you are feeling happiness, you tell me. Like, I'll tell you another example. Hari Prasad Prabhu recently went home to tell that actually it takes some time for parents to digest the fact that the person is going to join the ashram. So we tell it slowly. Now Hari Prasad Prabhu was sharing with me. So this is the third time. And now this time, and he has been telling, I will one more year. This time his father caught him and said, tell me, are you feeling happy just by being there? And Hari Prasad said, yes, I am feeling very, very happy just by continuing in the course. So do you feel happy just by continuing like this? Hari Prasad said, yes, I will feel very happy by continuing like this. Okay, no more discussion, finished. After that, his father didn't discuss. Now he is not convinced about his son being a brahmachari, but he is convinced that if that gives happiness to my son, okay, that's fine. No more discussion. This is our Vedic culture. This is what we are losing. This is what we are not able to inculcate in our next generation. All our generation parents, you see how much they felt for the family, for their son. New generation, the kids, the ladies are not even giving milk to their children. They're killing their children. So it's not necessary that the support and encouragement can only come from guru and devotee. If you have good relationships, and if at least there is someone in our life who feels for our happiness, then we'll get that support. Even if he's not a devotee. Like my sisters, they really feel for my happiness. They feel, oh, what is this? Lalit Prabhu, you have to mute. They feel for my happiness. And then they inspire, okay, they encourage, they support. Yes. Yes, Syama Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandavad.
Prabhu, my question is that people who have not experienced that love, and if they are not able to extrapolate, so what kind of hope do they have in practicing Krishna consciousness?
Yeah, so this is a very nice question. So that is why as devotees, sometimes we are so much concerned about making people open their mouth forcefully and putting Bhagavad Gita inside their mouth and inside their brains. So more than that, we should be more concerned about giving love, care, attention and feeling of that care and love to people. We can see that most of us in the beginning days don't remember what philosophy who is speaking. Until the time we start giving ourselves Bhagavad Gita class, we don't realize what we are hearing, what the person is speaking. But mostly we relate with the love, care of the devotees. Correct? Yes? So it is important that we should understand that the best way to preach and give Krishna consciousness is not trying to somehow or other open the mouth and Srila Prabhupada gave 30 minutes class. Have you seen? None of Srila Prabhupada's classes are greater than 30 minutes. He spoke philosophy, uncompromising way, but his achar, his behavior gave so much of feeling of love and shelter. The way he related with people. In the Dr. Mishra was an impersonalist, Mayavadi. Srila Prabhupada gave him so much of love. In his classes, when Srila Prabhupada will give classes, there will be always a debate. Big debate, heated debate. Srila Prabhupada was full-fledged Gaudiya sannyasi and he was a Mayavadi. But how much Srila Prabhupada gave love, care. When he became sick, Srila Prabhupada cooked himself and fed him. So if we can do that, if Srila Prabhupada can do it for a Mayavadi who is speaking about all nonsense, about how God is, we are like God and God is some light and all those things and we'll become God, and when the light Brahman comes in this world, the Krishna's form is actually Maya, all this nonsense they speak. So in that way, it is our duty as a preacher to give more love, care and attention than thinking about how much philosophy I'll inject. Philosophy will take some time for people to realize based on how slowly they will advance. Right? Philosophy is important, but basic philosophy is very clear. We should ensure that people understand 3-4 philosophy very nicely. One is, who are we? We are Jivatmas, part of God, and we can only be happy by serving God. Second, our goal of life is go back to Godhead, and this is not our home. Third, the process of doing it is chanting Hare Krishna, and there are side benefits of chanting Hare Krishna. That is, our mind will be peaceful, and so long we are in material world, we can function nicely. 3-4 things, philosophy, if we clarify with them, that's sufficient in the beginning stages. But what relates to people is the love and care the devotees give. So that's the hope. So we should not try to somehow or other, open people's mouth and inject the entire Bhagavad Gita. Rather, we should try to see that how people are feeling. We should understand as preacher that we are actually representing Krishna in their life. We are representing Krishna's love and care in their life. If we give that love, care, attention, everyone will become devotee. If you show that right example of love and care. So philosophy is important, but we need to understand that the first important principle for anyone to get attracted is the love, care and the family atmosphere. Yes, so that's the hope. Like you are Shama Priya, so whom you are talking with some young girls, they should feel, oh, I didn't had any sister, but now I have got such a wonderful God sister, Shama Priya. Who can help me to practice spirituality. So that feeling of relationships is very, very important. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, but it should not be material. It should be based on spiritual. Okay. Yes. Uddharan Krishna Prabhu, who is having the question. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like what is the thin line of like feeling for others and caring and being a people pleaser? Because there you are in a very uncomfortable situation, and also can you enlighten us like how some practical points and how we can reciprocate with love and care and affection?
Okay, people pleaser is one who is actually pleasing oneself only, wanting to have a good figure in the society. He wants to be in the good books of everyone. So people pleaser is not actually trying to please people, it's trying to please one's ego only. So that is not the right thing. We should not try to become a people pleaser. We should try to be becoming a people well-wisher. And for a well-wisher, sometimes we may have to speak pleasing words, and sometimes we have to speak displeasing words, what is good for them. So from people pleaser is actually a person who wants to satisfy one's ego and wanting to show to the whole world that how I am good. So many people recognize that I am so good. But we should transform ourselves not as a people pleaser, but transform to a people well-wisher. And it is for the well-wisher, like we find someone smoking cigarette, we should tell him that this is wrong, this is injurious to health. And we should not be people pleaser. Oh, I am doing good by not smoking, and you are also doing good by smoking. This is modern society. This is not people pleaser. This is people creating danger for the people. So we should be people well-wisher. And regarding practical tips about love, care, so everyone has his own language of love, right? So the first thing that we need to for us to able to help people experience love is to observe them with a positive outlook, seeing their good qualities. Like I'll give an example. Yesterday we were in a conference call with Veer Narasimha Prabhu, myself, and that one bhavan of Haridwar, one hotel of Haridwar, and the Babaji Maharaj or whatever it is, the manager. And I was just hearing what Veer Narasimha Prabhu was speaking, and I was very happy that how he tried his best to explain to the manager. He started with how we are having couples and all, and we don't need 4 bedrooms more, we need 2 bedrooms more, and all those details he was speaking to that manager and everything. So I was thinking in my heart when I was hearing the discussion that this person is a very good manager. He knows how to speak well and help people understand the situation. So in that way, we should be very observant and observing people with a positive outlook. So when we observe people with a positive outlook, we will develop positive appreciation for them. And later on, whenever we meet them, we speak about that interactions. And then they will also feel that, oh, this person has observed this. Oh, I never knew that this person has observed this. Or this person has observed one of my good quality. So then that strikes out a connection between a person, that one should be observant about others, about their good qualities. Everyone has some good qualities and everyone has some drawbacks also. So one should be observant about people's good qualities and try to appreciate them heartily. So this is the first step we should have in order to connect with anyone, any new person, or within even devotees. We should be very observant, and especially observing with a positive outlook of what are the good qualities that they have, right? And the second principle is that we should try to understand what are their needs, what are their dreams, what are their aspirations, how I can be adding a value to their life, right? So in that way, we will also try to make a connection with them by understanding their dreams, their ambitions, their aspirations, what they feel nice about, what makes them feel nice about, right? Like each one of you, last so many years I have been interacting, I know each one of you, how you will respond in what situation, right? I know how Santanu will respond in what situation. Given a situation, I know how Santanu will respond. I know how Dharan Krishna Prabhu will respond in a situation. So, and what are the dreams of Prabhuji? What are the dreams of any Mataji? So we need to understand the dreams and aspirations and struggles of others. So when we understand that and try to add some values in their struggles, help them, right? And then we can have a connection, right? So if we don't know only them, then what connection we can establish? So this is the second principle, that we should know their struggles and their aspirations and try to help them, serve them, right? We should be considering ourselves as a fortunate person to get some service. Like I consider myself so fortunate to be in touch with all of you. Now all of you also have some drawbacks. It's not that all of you are fully having all great qualities and all of you are Mahabhagavats. All of you are Mahabhagavats, definitely, because you are following Srila Prabhupada. But I feel so fortunate to be in association with all of you, right? So in that way, we should feel the fortune. Even if a person is a new person starting one round, we should feel the fortune of getting some opportunity to interact. I have learned so many things from new people. Like I'm going to a company to give seminar. The owner of the company, I learned so many good things from that company, from owner. Now he is a materialistic person and not practicing actively spirituality, but he has such good qualities. He was telling that, you see, Swamiji, I have seen companies getting opened, and they open the companies as a startup, and then they will sell the companies, and then what happens to the employees? No one knows. But I have started this company to actually give employment, and I am so happy that in last 7-8 years, 5,000 people are getting supported by my company. 5,000 employees I have, and 5,000 people are running their homes because of what endeavors we are doing. And I want to see that more and more people are getting benefited, right? So now this person is a prophet, he's thinking about profit, but he has a good quality. He is a proper businessman, very proper businessman. So then he made me interact with his son, and his son was also a very good person. Now all these people are not chanting Hare Krishna, and they may not be following all the 4 regulative principles, or they may be following, I don't know anything. But even they have good qualities. And we should feel fortunate that we are associating and we learn. We can learn from anyone. So we should feel that fortune, that okay, I got some fortune to connect with this person. And we are should be Saragrahi. We should get some good things from everyone and try to implement them in our Krishna consciousness, right? I was thinking after interacting with this company person, is that this person is thinking about others so much. Am I as a sannyasi thinking about others? Am I thinking that मेरे endeavors से कितने लोगों को मैं भक्ति में इंस्पायर कर रहा हूं और उनका भक्ति का फ्लेम जलता रह रहा है? So he is thinking what? 5,000 घरों में चूल्हा जल रहा है. तो क्या मैं ऐसी तरह सोच रहा हूं कि कितना मैं हाउ मच आई शुड एंडेवर कि सबका भक्ति का दीप जलता रहे, बुझे ना, राइट? Am I ready to give time to others to ensure that he is so much, this karmi person, he gives so much of time to his employees. Anyone comes, he has time. Rather, I was giving a seminar, and another CEO of another company had come, and he was telling. So the CEO of other company was telling to CEO of this company that, sir, one thing that I feel little concerned is you are too much getting involved in all people's life. You should maintain some dignity, some क्या उसको बोलते हैं ना, what do you say, एक तेवर रहता है ना, you should not be so accessible. So in that way, I saw some very good qualities in this person. And this person has some bad qualities also. That also I have observed. But because I appreciate this person's good quality and this person is a big man, he comes for counseling session and he expresses his bad things also. And I am getting opportunity to tell him that these are all certain things which you have to really improve. So just imagine. You are able to understand. And I am going to the company and not speaking Bhagavatam. I am going to the company speaking about stress management, time management. So we need to understand that whomever we meet, we should understand that it is Krishna's will that both of us have come together, and what Krishna, how I can become a person to help him elevate. If he is in X level, he should come to X plus 2 level. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
And the third thing is that we should not hide our Krishna consciousness. We should never hide our Krishna consciousness. We should always tell that I am proud to be a devotee of Krishna. Sometimes we think that, oh, if I hide my Krishna consciousness, slowly tell. We should openly tell, I am a devotee of Krishna. I am a lover of Krishna. And I am feeling so happy being a lover of Krishna. So when they see that we are so happy being a devotee, then they will also become devotees because they want to be happy. So these are small 3 things we can follow. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I never thought in this way.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Last question and we'll end by Sanjukta Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, after coming to Bhakti, now we can understand there are fine difference between the things, like the material things and spiritual things. Material relationship and spiritual relationship. Although it looks same, like the material people build relationship, they also look happy, and spiritual people also they are building relationship with them, and they are also happy. So my question is, Prabhuji, how to, I mean, as a devotee, how can we build relationship with the spiritual people and the non-devotees also, with the basis of, I mean, spiritual love, attention, and care?
Yeah. So material relationships is based on exchange of a material thing. Spiritual relationship, the exchange is a spiritual commodity. That's the difference. That's the basic difference. Material relationship is based on exchange of something material. Oh, why I relate with him or her, then he gives me nice gifts, I give him nice gift. So spiritual relationship also, Rupa Goswami says, giving up gifts. But those gifts are spiritual gifts. Like for example, material relationship is about one lady calling another lady, oh, I went to Varanasi and purchased a very nice sari. And I was thinking about you. And I saw a green color. And because you are so fair in color, you will look so good if you wear that green sari. And I was constantly thinking, and then I was thinking to call you, but your phone was not working. And I have brought that green sari for you. And this was oh so nice. You have brought the green sari from Varanasi for me. So now there is nice relationship, but the relationship, the basis of relationship is some material exchange or product. And spiritual relationship means, no, I read a verse and this verse was so nice, so nice. I wanted to share this verse. I was feeling it is such a nice verse and such a nice point that I read from Srila Prabhupada's book. So this is spiritual relationship. So here is also exchange of gifts, but the exchange of commodity is a spiritual commodity. Some of our realizations, some prasadam, something connected with Krishna, right? So the exchange of gifts in a spiritual relationship is spiritual commodity. So something spiritual. Okay, I read something, I would like to share with some of my friends. It is spiritual relationship. I got some prasadam, so I should share it with others. Spiritual relationship. Like yesterday, Ananta Bhagwan Prabhu's cousin had come. So I had taken him to visiting the Calcutta places and all in car and everything. And then one brahmachari gave me a big, so much of Mahaprasad. Prabhuji, you don't come to Albert Road Temple. 3 years have passed, you have not come. And he gave so big, so much of Mahaprasad to me. And I gave to him and I said, oh, you take it for your daughter Prasesta and see what you can eat now and what you can keep it, because it may get spoiled. Now, I may give some food items, but it's not food item, it's prasadam. And when his daughter eats that prasadam, he will also remember Krishna, because this is prasadam. So spiritual relationship, the commodity of exchange is spiritual objects, right? So spiritual commodity. And definitely, because we are living in material world, we also have to deal with the material things. We need to also exchange some material things. But the basic primary thing is spiritual thing. If we are liking someone, loving some devotee, what we are doing with that devotee? Are we chanting Hare Krishna with him? Are we reading some Srila Prabhupada's book with him? Or are we reading Bhagavatam with him? That is spiritual relationship. Or we are just, how much nice sari, what nice sari I purchased, where I went, what I did. Even if we go to spiritual places, we discuss more about how I liked the spiritual places than what spiritual activities I did in that spiritual place. Correct? So in that way, a material relationship can be transformed into a spiritual relationship by exchanging Krishna, instead of exchanging some material things.
But with non-devotees, we cannot do all these things.
With non-devotees, we can exchange Krishna. With devotees, exchange of Krishna is reciprocal. You give some Krishna, he will give some Krishna. And with non-devotees, the difference is only it is one-sided. That's the thing. We should give Krishna. If non-devotees see you with tilak, what they will remember of? Are, kahan se aa gayi? You know, tilak laga ke, itna chota umar mein kaun usko aise paath padhaya hai, सिखाया है, तिलक लगा के आई. ये सब इस्कॉन वाले यंग लोगों को ले लेते हैं. ये सब कैसे ये लोग फंसते हैं, ऐसे फंस ही गए. बट वो क्या देख रहे हैं आपके प्रोमिनेंट में? वो तिलक को देख रहा है. And he'll be forced to remember Krishna, right? And then what is the first thing? If you go out in wearing tilak, what's the first thing another colleague who is a colleague or any girl will ask you? What the first thing is? अरे ये क्या लगा के आ गया? ये क्या दिख रहा है तुम? हाँ? So immediately we have opportunity to give Krishna. Oh, this is Krishna's lotus feet, and this is this, and all these things. So that's why I'm telling to Poonam Mataji, don't hide your bhakti. Be very bold and be very proud, and that I am proud. शान से कहो कृष्ण के भक्त हैं हम. So we should with pride छाती फुला के, we are Krishna's devotees, and I'm happy to be Krishna's devotees. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, last Udharan Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, extending on to Sangeeta Mataji's question, so I met one person yesterday, and he was mentioning that as a small people, you are always living like in a cult. You're doing the same activities together. You are talking with same kind of people. And so how you are not open to the outside world. So but we feel a person should be open to that. So how can we respond to such kind of argument? Like you are doing continuously same thing. Like for example, in Abrahamic religion, they have been too much engulfed into doing prayers for 5 times that they cannot come out of it. So some people think that it is ISKCON is something also becoming like
so
that.
then, so if doing one activity again and again is a cult, then your eating is a cult, your drinking water is a cult, your taking bath is a cult, your earning money is a cult. So
And
stop.
Saturday eating out is a cult?
Yes. So if something is good and something is giving me happiness, so and something is giving me positivity, peace, what's the problem to doing it again and again, even if it is a cult? Tell me, which ISKCON, as ISKCON devotees, you are comparing us with Abrahamic religions and all those things. We are the harmless people in the entire creation. Our devotees do not even harm animals. Our devotees, they may be doing all nonsense before, but when they become devotees, they don't even take bribe. We have devotees in big position. They don't even take bribe. They maintain integrity, and they do their duties in outside world very nicely. So is it not good? So it's good to be in this cult. Okay, if we are in a cult and because of that cult we are trying to give trouble to others, then we should come out of the cult. But if we are in a cult, we are giving happiness to ourselves, we are giving happiness to others, then we should remain in that cult. Like eating. Eating is a cult, but eating nourishes us. So we should follow the cult. But imagine if I'm eating as a cult is creating problem for others, I should curtail that cult. And that is why as devotees we propagate ahimsa eating. We don't eat himsa. We eat with non-violence. Right? So if something is a cult and something is creating benefit for the person, individual, and for the society at large, it's good to be with that cult. In ISKCON we are distributing more than 25 lakhs of prasadam every day throughout the world. So it's good to have such a cult. How much terrorist activities ISKCON has done? Nothing. Rather, those who are having all types of nonsense habits, nonsense creating difficulties to the others, they become most harmless individuals in the society and they become productive in the society. So it's good to have cult. Just doing an activity again and again doesn't make it cult, because we are doing so many activities again and again. We are doing eating, sleeping, mating, defending, so many activities we do cult. Right? We should see the overall effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Anyone?
Yeah, but people tend to pick some. I mean, everywhere there are some exceptions are there. People try to see that and try to project everything with that.
Yeah, so that is there, that as ISKCON devotees also we should understand that there have been cases where people have gone to ISKCON temples and they have been not treated well. So, but once they see us as our examples, if we give a good example to them, then they will change their conception. That's natural, right? Okay. Yes, shall we end? Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, vancha kalpataruvasya kripa sindhu vaivacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo, ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai, Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Hare